Welcome to a special edition of the Football Reporters. We have two special guest hosts here. Well, first off, I'm John. This is
Paul, the Snakeskin Riley.
And this is Carlos Spicy Wiener.
God damn it.
And we're here to talk to you guys about the football.
The NFL. The ongoings of the NFL.
The NFL.
This week, week 15. Getting into playoff season, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
We're getting into the playoff season. Let's get started with the New England Patriots.
In the Sons of
Belichick.
Can't really see
As
it.
Paul moons the camera. The New England
We're going to have to censor that out.
Beep! Okay, so the New England Patriots had their last home game this season against the Tennessee Titans and was not even close, ladies and gentlemen.
Would you even call that a game?
It looked like
It looked like training camp.
It was Foxborough High came to play the Patriots, and the Patriots sort of let up on them a little bit.
Especially in the second half. It was Marcus Mariota did get hurt in the game after getting his third sack by Jamie Collins. He's out for the rest of the season with a torn ACL.
I still don't understand why they drafted him. They had Mettenberger, who looked pretty good through the game, through the Pats defense, although sort of depleted, looked really good. Why did they draft him at 2 overall? They probably could have got Amari Cooper and been a better offense, or, I don't know, maybe like Shane Ray and actually had someone who knew how to play defense.
Well, they did know how to play defense in the second half. I mean, they held the Patriots to 9 points.
Just because Danny Amendola decided not to play, and then the only one he could throw to was Gronkowski, who decided to turn his turn into his new firm of Brandon LaFell and just start dropping passes in the end zone.
I don't think it was him dropping passes. I think the Titans defenders actually deflected the ball a little bit, and that's what caused him to drop.
There was a play in the end. He was bracing.
He caught
himself.
the ball. There was one time he caught the ball, but it was out of bounds.
He was bracing himself for a lot of hits. There was a play in the end zone near the end of the game where they did a go route to him, and he got a step on the seam. He had the ball in his hands, but he sort of held up and braced himself for a hit that probably would have which he probably wouldn't have done had he not been on his deathbed and didn't.
Yeah. I think the biggest story of this game to come out of is the Patriots are being sidelined by injuries. They lost 3 players again. They lost Danny Amendola because he re-aggravated his knee injury. They lost Dante Hightower, probably their best run-stopping linebacker they have.
Best sideline-to-sideline guy.
Do you have any update on him yet, or is he...
I wouldn't assume he's out for this week. They're probably just going to do the same thing. Maybe he's going to have to be ready for the playoffs because they get the bye week and everything.
With this win, they clinched the first round bye. They go on to 12-2.
Yeah, thanks to Denver deciding they don't know how to score in the second half. Brock Osweiler is the best first half quarterback in the entire NFL.
Exactly.
Worst second half.
Okay, so Tom Brady 23 of 35, 267 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Godly stats.
Not bad, but just okay to win. But he really should have done better.
Godly stats.
I think James White should be more integrated in the offense, though. He should definitely have more attempts because I think he does have a lot of potential to be a Deion Lewis.
Yes, he does. He's like the poor man's Deion Lewis, and Deion Lewis was the poor man's Marshall Faulk. So he's the
broke man.
He's the Ethiopian Marshall Faulk.
Yeah, he's the broke man's Marshall Faulk.
The
Damian Amendola only had 1 catch for 3 yards.
I mean, he looked like a patient on his deathbed for the most part of the game.
Fumbled the football and kick return. What the heck's up with the Patriots? They fumble every single time. For the past 4 weeks.
Yeah, the fumbles are up, and maybe they just don't have a super special ball handling person. That's probably why.
Yeah, no. So Shear got a sack. Akeem Hicks had a sack.
They went to town on that offensive line.
Chandler Jones
had. Want to call it that.
Chandler Jones had 2 sacks, and he forced a fumble, which fooled the cameraman and pretty much the rest of America.
Yes. That's how you know it's pretty good.
Yep.
Chandler Jones definitely showed that he's one of the top defensive ends. He took over a half, basically. That first half was Chandler Jones, Jabal Shear just teabagging.
I think
Mariota.
Now that so we all knew that they were going to win that game. It was
just sort of hopefully no one gets hurt.
But unfortunately, people get
too
hurt.
late.
Yeah, it was like the Redskins game. Just make sure no one majorly gets injured.
And it happened. Patrick Chung also went down with some ribs.
Yeah, thanks to John Bostic. John Bostic really blew him up. That was on a touchdown play.
Yep.
Bostic went to make a tackle and he hit the wrong guy.
The Panthers had a 35-7 lead and nearly blew it.
Yes, thanks to Odell Beckham Jr. He took time away from his personal sparring match with Norman to actually play some football. So we'd like to thank him that.
Also, the defense could not stop Cam Newton whatsoever. 25 of 45, 340 yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks. He also had 100 yards rushing.
Can we just give the MVP award to Cam Newton?
That's a clear cut.
It's locked up. I mean, the Giants don't have much of a defense, but I mean,
So
he's been doing that all season.
Odell Beckham Jr. had in his matchup against Norman. Did pretty well. 6 receptions, 76 yards, and a touchdown.
7 punches landed.
Didn't get thrown out of the game.
That was stupid. He should have been thrown out of that game. I mean, he's like a friggin' prison riot out there. I mean, Joe Buck is the king of interjecting his own opinion into the football game, and Troy Aikman just sort of goes along with it. But he should have been thrown out of the game.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Joe Buck is like the old guy, like outside of his house going like, "What is the world coming to?" Basically,
I cannot believe what's going on around here. But what kind of a world do we live in where the Washington Redskins are actually a playoff team?
I know, it's just crazy. And Donald Trump's a presidential candidate.
We're in Brazil.
Who's vice president? Jerry Lewis.
I'm Sir Gene Wilder is the second.
He's Secretary of State.
No, he's Secretary of Defense.
He's Secretary of Defense. Damn it.
Good night, future boy. But Kirk Cousins had a pretty good game. 319 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks.
Who would have thought that out of that draft, out of the 3 quarterbacks taken, Kirk Cousins would be the one to lead his team to a playoff?
And where's RG third string?
RG third string? I don't know. He's probably
Riding the bench.
He's. I was going to say he's twirling signs
I see
outside of a
him
car wash.
riding the left bench.
Let's see here. Deshaun Jackson had 6 receptions for 153 yards and a touchdown. Jordan
in 9 complaints. 9 complaints. He's a big kind of wine bag.
Jordan Reed had continues his big
wine
season.
bag.
I think this is one of the best tight ends in the league. 7 receptions, 84 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's the best tight end that has played all games this season because Tyler Eifert and Rob Gronkowski have been injured like every 4 or 5 minutes. 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Every time Gronk gets hit, I sort of have like a mini heart attack.
I wouldn't say minutes. I'd say 4 or 5 downs.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Every time Gronk gets hit, I have a mini heart attack. Eifert, I don't.
I think from now on, every time Gronk gets hit, we should take a shot.
Yeah. Seriously.
Oh God, we are gonna die.
Papa Gronk wants a month. I think
Papa Gronk.
I got a tweet. I read a tweet from Ian Rappaport. I think that Papa Gronk wants a Robin bubble wrap for next week's game.
Sammy Watkins had a pretty good game. Had a pretty good day. 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. The only 2 touchdowns thrown by Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
I forgot his name there for a second.
How many times did he throw? How many attempts?
27.
27. That's why they won't win because they throw less than 30 times a game.
And the Buffalo Bills have been officially eliminated from playoff contention.
Yeah. Rob. What's his name? Rob Ryan's still.
Rex Ryan.
Rex Ryan's still pissed about the Patriots game. He's still talking about it.
Yep, still talking about it.
Just wait till next year, guys. We're gonna beat him.
So the Washington Redskins win 35-25, and all they have to do is win one game, and they officially clinch the NFC East.
Yeah, but it's gonna be dun 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 on the road,
where they have only won one game in the past 2 years on the road.
NFC East division champs, guys.
The Minnesota Vikings taking on the. Hey, Steve Harvey.
Little Steve Harvey moment.
Happy Friday. Oh, wait. It's Monday.
Steve Harvey. You can't say that on TV.
You can't say that.
So the Bears faced off against the Minnesota Vikings, and Jay Cutler did Jay Cutler things, and that's turned the ball over at the worst possible time, even though this game wasn't really close.
Show a picture of Choker in the
annotation
in the dictionary. You're going to see a picture of Jay Cutler when the game matters most, and he's going to be throwing the ball to someone on a different team. And Teddy Bridgewater showed that he is
the franchise quarterback.
Yes,
17 for 20, 231 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks.
He looked pretty good.
And 2 of those went to Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs has got some speed, that kid.
Yep,
speed. I mean, they're only 9-5. They maybe will win the playoff game.
I think they're going to be in the playoffs.
They're definitely going to be in the playoffs. They're a scary good team for the future.
They will be facing off against Green Bay in the playoffs.
That'll be a good game. Although I just don't know how much I would trust that team being clutch.
I'll show you guys after the video.
Okay.
Mustache.
So Chicago is officially out of the playoff contention. I guess the big thing to come out of this was Matt Forte was pretty good. Had 47 yards rushing, 57 yards receiving, and a touchdown. Like I said, he's the modern day Marshall Faulk.
Yes.
He's a guy who's really good
Just-
at rushing the ball and catching the ball out of the backfield.
Yeah.
I guess the big thing is, like, do you think Chicago can be improving? Like, could they possibly make a playoff run next year?
No, because Matt Forte is pushing 30. Jay Cutler's still your quarterback. And, and I don't really think Alshon Jeffrey's a total gamer. I don't know how, gung-ho he is about everything. He seems to be the type of guy you can take out of games.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they're not doing well. Sort of like a Demaryius Thomas.
For the past 7 weeks, I've only asked one question. What the hell has happened to the Atlanta Falcons?
What happens is everyone realized, they don't know how to play defense or run the ball. That's what it is. I mean, they had a great turnaround. What's the coach's name? I forget his name.
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn won Coach of the Year, but they need to improve on both sides of the line. Heavily. Julio Jones also got injured too. That's the thing.
Julio Jones had 118 yards receiving and a touchdown. They won against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know how much stock you want to put in that.
Jaguars are pretty good.
Well, yeah, they have a chance to win the division.
They're on the same level, is what we'll say. They're in the same level.
Matt Ryan had threw a really bad interception. Devontae Freeman had a touchdown this game.
Devontae the touchdown machine Freeman.
Yep. Bortles had 297 yards passing, a touchdown, and a pick.
He's sneaky up there in those stats. He's top 4 or 5 in the league in most quarterback stats.
Yep, and he ran for a touchdown as well. Julius Thomas had 79 yards receiving, and Allen Robinson continues the touchdown machine himself, got a touchdown himself.
How quiet of a signing has Julius Thomas been? We've learned that he got hurt and didn't play the first 4 games, and then disappeared.
42 receptions, 431 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Definitely worth about, $12.5 million a year.
Oh, yeah, total.
Yeah.
Let's see how he gets more into the offense. The red-hot Kansas City Chiefs went into Baltimore and absolutely blew them out, 34-14. Jimmy Clausen threw Marcus Peters had 101 interception return for a touchdown. Karen West had a touchdown as well in this game. Alex Smith, does Alex Smith stuff. He just plays the game, doesn't make many mistakes.
Doesn't really take any chances down the field. Doesn't really try and leave his team on big drives. Relies on his running back. That type of stuff.
Yeah, threw a touchdown.
Refuses to throw the ball more than 10 yards down the field. He just does absolutely nothing to try and change the course of the game. Just steady Eddie. Oh my god.
Yeah, so I think the Chiefs have a chance to win the AFC West.
And I think they can actually win it if Brock Osweiler decides he doesn't want to play once you get in the final half hour of the game.
Well, we'll see.
Seriously. We'll talk about the game later, but that game, he looked the polar opposites of tale of two halves.
The Baltimore Ravens have the most people on season-ending IR.
Yes, and it definitely shows. Which is
Think about it for a second. Think about this for a second. They could have all their players back next year, and this team was a playoff team 2 years ago. Can you picture because they're going to be drafting high?
Yeah,
who are they going to pick? Who would you pick?
If I were them, I would go skill position. I would either get a big-time pass rusher or a big-time pass catcher.
I'd go for a pass catcher. I think Terrell Suggs is your pass rusher, even though, he's coming off a second ACL surgery.
Yeah, seriously. He's coming off a second ACL surgery, but if we want to get him back, really just tell him the quarterback's his wife, and then I'll probably just kill him.
Let's see here. TJ Yates threw a pick in his first 3 throws. He ran for 7 yards and tore his ACL. He's out for the year. And who comes in but Brandon Weeden against the Indianapolis Colts?
Brandon, the flaming pile of trash, Weeden.
Yep, and guess what happened?
What?
He won!
Yes.
He won! He beat, for the first time ever, the Houston Texans have won in Indianapolis in their entire existence.
Can I say this gets the award for most boring and worst played game of the entire week? This game?
So far? Yeah.
So
Are you sure? Did you see that Jets game? Did you see that Jets and Cowboys game?
I was entertained by the Jets game because Matt Castle was the most god-awful pick. Seriously, he almost gets sacked, avoids the sack, and then decides to throw the ball to Darrelle Revis.
By pitch and catch.
Yeah, exactly. Darrelle Revis has never had an easier interception.
Alfred Blue had 107 yards rushing.
Oh yeah, Alfred Blue is a really good player.
Let me take a look here. They came back from. They only touchdown scored. He threw a pass to John Strong
John Strong, yeah.
to go up 13, and they won by.
Yeah, notice how you don't know anyone's names? This is why both teams aren't playoff teams. Because they have zeros playing for
And
them.
unfortunately, they are Houston Texans pretty much are going to make the playoffs.
Well,
I think so.
Yeah, they're going to get smoked.
Who-
Unless J.J. Watt wants to play quarterback.
well, let's see.
Brandon Beaton's your starting quarterback in round 1 of the playoffs.
Let's see who's going to be. I think it's going to be either the Chiefs or it's going to be the Steelers.
They're going to get run over and run over. The Steelers are going to score like 100 points on them before like first.
Oh, breaking news! Breaking news! Odell Beckham Jr. has been suspended for a game.
Yeah, another breaking news. He's joined like some sort of like
One
MMA
game.
fighting club.
Wait, what'd they get him for?
He absolutely beat the shit out of Josh Norman.
No, he didn't beat the shit out of Josh Norman. What he was is Josh Norman kicked the crap out of him and shut him down basically, and he got mad, and then he just had a tantrum on the field.
Here's what he did. He did helmet to helmet, and then he shoved him.
He tried to blindside tackle him from behind, and then Norman just shoved him to the ground.
Yep.
So, I still don't understand why with the NFL's fucking
Policy
on
punishment.
Okay. Why me?
Get in the frame.
Oh,
In the frame.
I don't want to be in the frame. Alright, fine. Well, please correct me. Ray Lewis
Yes.
Yeah.
beat his wife
And murdered 2 people.
and murdered 2 people.
Yeah.
4-game suspension?
I don't think he...
0.
Was 0 for the murder.
0 for the murder. So how many for beating his wife?
I think he got maybe a game or 2.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
Like ticky-tack.
Tom Brady. Deflated football.
5.
5-game suspension.
Or 4.
4-game suspension.
4-game
I got
suspension.
that wrong.
It's alright.
No.
It's bullshit either way.
Either way, it's still bullshit.
Yeah.
Guy throws a friggin' tantrum on the field.
1 game.
He could have ended Josh Norman's career. That one where he went after him with the helmet. He could have hit him from behind and just ended his career. I mean, I don't know how much Josh Norman makes, but I'm pretty sure he's not like...
Not much, because he's a 6th-round draft pick.
He's a 6th-round draft pick. Odell Beckham Jr. just mad because he got trounced by some like nobody. He got shut out. And what they had to basically, you saw what happened every time after Odell Beckham came after him. They had to like cops had to come on the field and hold back Josh Norman from murdering him. Where did Josh Norman go to school? Like, where did he graduate from? Like reform school?
Go take a look. Let's see here.
Seriously, he was like you could hear him on the cameras just like screaming.
Yeah. All right. The Cleveland Browns went up against the Seattle Seahawks after Mike Pettin talked a lot of trash, and they got trounced.
Yeah.
They got stomped. They got crushed.
Do you think Mike Pettin even cares?
No, he doesn't.
No.
I mean,
No bounce.
Russell Wilson threw 3 touchdown passes, no picks, and he set an NFL record
Really?
with 5 straight weeks of throwing at least 3 touchdowns and not turning the ball over once.
if Cam Newton wasn't Superman, Russell Wilson would be MVP candidate. He'll probably win Offensive Player of the Year though.
Yeah, I think
Definitely.
Yeah, because let's hear. He threw 5, 3. So I think he's thrown 23 touchdowns in the past 5 weeks.
He's done all this without Marshawn Lynch or Jimmy Graham.
What does that tell you?
I mean, that means he's pretty damn good. So
Doug Baldwin had another monster game.
It's weird. Doug Baldwin isn't fast.
He had 2 touchdowns.
Isn't very good at running his routes. Yet somehow he's
Jermaine Kearse had
constantly-
7 receptions for 110 yards. Just an absolute monstrous beatdown of the Cleveland Browns.
to be expected.
To be expected, of course. And with that win, Seattle had clinched a playoff spot. They're probably going to be the 5 seed. The 5th seed. Get it fixed.
It go dark.
Shit go dark. Derp.
I can't see you. It's too dark.
Hurts. Okay, I gotta do it later because that's the Sunday game.
Right.
Green Bay Packers. I had this game as an upset for the Oakland Raiders, but hey, you know what? I wasn't expecting a pick 6 thrown by Derek Carr. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, the score sort of is closer than the game appeared. They kind of got outplayed for the most part of the game.
Well, Aaron Rodgers didn't have that big of a game. He only had 204 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick.
He threw that touchdown pass, and I tell you right now, the Raiders, for all the credit I give them, I think they're a really, really good team.
I think they will be a playoff team next year.
They will have a chance. They desperately need some pass defense. I mean, it's just open season back there.
Yeah, because Charles Woodson is not cutting it.
Charles Woodson's like
even though he actually played pretty much okay, but like he has no other help around him.
I would think Charles Woodson should be a coach. He's like 39.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Or like get breathalyzed.
Amari Cooper had 120 yards receiving, all the touchdowns thrown by Derek Carr, who also threw 2 picks. The Raiders actually tied this up in the third quarter, going into the fourth, and it kind of just went away from them, and that's unfortunate. I think this team has something because they went toe-to-toe against Aaron Rodgers, and they didn't totally shut him down, but they kept him.
What it was is I think Aaron Rodgers sort of had an off day, but when the chips went on the table, Aaron Rodgers was the better quarterback, and he showed why. He threw that dime touchdown pass, of course, when it's no one around him.
This next game was awesome. Pittsburgh versus Denver.
Well, it wasn't awesome because I wanted Pittsburgh to lose because I don't want to play them in the playoffs.
Are you kidding me?
They scared the bejeebus out of me. Seriously. They dropped 34 in the number 1 ranked pass defense. And number 1 ranked defense, period. They get Chris Harris and Aqib Talib, who are the best quarterback tandem in the entire league. And Tony Brown had 18 receptions on Chris Harris Jr. It's between him and Russell Wilson for offensive players.
No, he had 16.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, though. Even though this was a good game, and I think the Steelers deserve credit for winning, they didn't want to win it. Third down, you're trying to waste out the clock. Twice on third down, they throw.
Yep.
Twice.
And
how do you want to win the game?
And Big Ben threw an interception.
At that point, I was like, they should lose the game because you're an idiot, Mike Tomlin. First, you complain about the headsets, then you put in Michael Vick, then you miss field goals. Now you're throwing on third down. I mean, he doesn't want to win the game. It's like I don't know what it was. Like, I mean, you guys, it's just at certain points, I think Mike Tomlin is like, they talked about it on TV, they're like, he's such a risk taker, that Mike Tomlin. It's like, no, he's just a stupid person.
Let's see here.
Like, you have D'Angelo Williams, you can't punt it back.
The Denver Broncos had a 27-13 lead, and they choked it away.
What is his name? Barack, don't know how to play in the second half. Osweiler just decided he wanted to,
What was that all stuff about how Brock Osweiler is, the next Tom Brady stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. When you don't have the stretch runs working for you, Gary Kubiak sort of turtles in and just goes, I don't know what to do.
What do the Broncos do? Fumble. Touchdown. Look at that pretty well. And then punt. It's like punt, 3 and out. Another punt, 3 and out. 3 and out. Interception. Turnover on downs. They didn't get any yards in that last drive.
Yeah, it almost is like Brock Osweiler has nowhere to go with the ball. Because Vernon Davis likes to not... His stone hands, Vernon Davis. Remember 3 years ago when Vernon Davis looked like a Hall of Fame candidate?
Yep.
Now Vernon Davis doesn't look like he could make it in the Arena League.
I mean, Emmanuel Sanders had a pretty good game. He had 10 receptions for 100.
That's the only one who could throw to. He's the only one that cares. Demaryius Thomas, if he's not wide open, doesn't want to catch the ball.
He had 61 yards receiving and
he also dropped 3 in the third quarter.
Emmanuel Sanders had 10 catches for 181 yards and a touchdown.
He's amazing, but I mean...
That's why I'm not scared of Pittsburgh. That's why I'm not scared.
I'm just saying.
Because they got so many yards to those slot receivers.
I'm just saying. Well, Edelman's going to be coming back from an injury. We don't know how great he's going to be. And then trust me. I mean, if we give them like
Tom Coughlin. I mean Tom Tomlin.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin. Yeah.
So dumb.
I have totally. Yeah.
He's stupid.
It's insane. It's
stupid.
Insane. He's going to throw on third down, not once, but twice. And the second time he did it after they threw a pick. It's like, I don't want to win the game. I want to give it to you. And then Brock Osweiler's like, nah, I don't want to either. We're just going to do it. We're just going to not get a first down. We're going to absolutely not do that.
Pittsburgh has a chance to actually clinch next week for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
But they have to. They're going up against next week. Who are they facing next week? They're going up against the Ravens.
They're going against the Ravens, and then the Jets are playing the Patriots. So I mean, they pretty much get that playoff spot locked up, unless Ryan Fitzpatrick decides he wants to turn his inner Brett Favre or something. I don't know.
The Dolphins absolutely got raped.
Yeah.
So true.
You agree on that one? Huh?
Yeah, it was
30-14 against the San Diego Chargers.
You can only score 14 points against maybe one of the worst defenses in the history of the league. Way to go, Ryan Tannehill. I want to get a round of applause here. Joe Philbin's just sitting there watching the game, going like, it's not my fault anymore. He probably doesn't know. He's probably watching the game, going like, oh, what is the guy who owned the ball doing? I don't know what he's doing.
Danny Woodhead had 4 total touchdowns in this game.
Yeah, remember him?
Yeah, I remember him. Phillip Rivers had 311 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Can someone please get some help from Phillip Rivers?
Is this his last year in his contract?
Yeah.
He's going to be a pretty big free agent, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys just want you to sign him to a $100 million contract. He's a free agent next year, right?
I think so.
He's he's going to be pretty sought after, and I know the Chargers want to move to LA, and he doesn't want to go to LA.
Yep.
Why don't the Dallas Cowboys sign him for like $1 bajillion? You know, Jerry Jones is thinking like, maybe if I offer him a left leg, he'll come play for us and win a Super Bowl.
The Cincinnati Bengals went against the dumpster fire of
Blaine Gabbert and
Blaine Gabbert and the San Francisco 49ers.
I never thought I'd actually be saying this, but Blaine Gabbert may have saved the 49ers season.
He threw 3 interceptions.
I'm just saying, no, but before...
It's like, he might have saved this season. He threw 3 picks. Fuck him.
No, but I mean, for the most part, he basically saved their season, because, I mean, they're going to fire that guy, what's his name? Tom Sula.
Tom Sula.
They're going to fire him, and then he steps in and actually plays decent. People in Jacksonville are like, oh, where was that, you asshole?
Well,
3 years ago, you couldn't, like, you know, put a piece of trash in the trash, in, like, you couldn't put a piece of trash in the trash barrel without it getting intercepted by someone else. Now you're leading a team with no one on offense up and down the field.
But yeah, he's still throwing interceptions. He had 200.
No, I'm just saying, I'm not saying he's MVP candidate, but I mean...
He threw the ball 50 times. And Anquan Boldin had a touch. Anquan Boldin, who probably is the best player on their offense.
How old is Anquan Boldin?
God, I don't even know.
He's like
03.
Older than the Declaration of Independence or something like that. Seriously, he was like 38 when he was playing with the Ravens in 09.
And won the Super Bowl, yeah.
Exactly.
Blaine Gabbert had 3 picks. AJ McCarron was relatively okay. First Alabama quarterback to win the NFL since 1987.
He's got what he has. A lot of quarterbacks don't have this. He's got the mindset, like the winning mindset, and knows what he's doing in the field. His body he doesn't make crisp throws. He's basically Alex Smith, but way worse.
Yep.
Which is why he was drafted like the 5th round.
Yep. 15 for 21, 192 yards and a touchdown, no picks.
Exactly, and that's against the 49ers, who are horrendous.
Yep. But who do you think will? So, do we know if Andy Dalton's going to come back this week or no?
If they were smart, they would save him for the playoffs. If they were really smart, they wouldn't have signed him to the extension, but we know they're stupid.
Yeah.
So he'll probably be back next week.
So, yeah, well, they're going up against the Denver Broncos that has the number 1 ranked pass defense in the league.
Yes. Tell that to Antonio Brown.
Well, they still do. Well,
Just-
it's AJ McCarron!
No, I was just saying, just tell it to Antonio Brown.
Yep.
18 receptions, like 250 yards. I mean, ballparking, but I mean...
Okay, for many people are saying, like, oh, Carolina's the team in the NFC. Carolina's the team to be in the NFC. Bullshit! Arizona!
Hot take, please, right here. Hot take time.
Arizona's...
I have to take my sweatshirt off. It's so hot.
Take NATO. Here it comes. Arizona's the team to beat in the NFC.
You heard it here first, folks.
That team has so much depth at wide receiver.
Yeah.
So here, you have Larry Fitzgerald, who has a resurgence.
What's their record?
12-2?
Same as Pats.
Yeah, but Panthers are going 14-0?
Yeah.
Records don't mean shit. I'm sorry.
Patriots went 18-0 and then lost to the Giants.
Lost to the Giants.
18-1.
18-1.
We'll stop talking about that.
Yeah. But, yeah, exactly. This team has a very...
That never happened.
Never
happened.
It had a very great defense.
07 doesn't exist.
They've won 8 straight games, have clinched the NFC West. They have guys like John Brown, Larry Fitzgerald, Michael Floyd, J.J. Nelson. These guys are really quick wide receivers and an MVP candidate in Carson Palmer, a great offensive line.
I wouldn't call him an MVP candidate.
Yeah, he is. I would consider him to be an MVP.
I wouldn't consider him to be an MVP candidate.
Look at his stats wise, he's an MVP candidate.
I think he's.
How about comeback player of the year? I would give him back.
That's comeback player of the year. I just think he's a product more of his wide receivers than him. What was he in Oakland and Cincinnati? Quarterback who got injured a lot and threw almost as many touchdowns as picks.
Yep. David Johnson had 187 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, including 1 monstrous run in the second half. That was
they ran upshot on that Philly defense. If you even want to call it a defense.
That offensive line for the Arizona Cardinals is really good too. They have
because they drafted for 3 years and for like 4 or 5 years they drafted in the top 10 and they got offensive linemen.
Let's see here. Do you want? Let me give you let's do a round table here. You know the whole round table. Let's do Carolina and Arizona.
All right.
Better quarterback, Carson Palmer or Cam
I
Newton?
don't even a question. Cam Newton carries that team.
Okay.
You could put Cam Newton on any team, and I'm pretty sure they'd win at least 12
Better-
games.
Okay, better running back. Jonathan Stewart or David Johnson?
David Johnson's really, really fast, but I mean, Stewart fits way better into that system.
Okay.
Robinson, for me, seems like he's out of place on Arizona. But I mean, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, I might say to go with the better offensive lineman, which is in Arizona.
Yeah, they're monsters. Dallas, they've rivaled Dallas, I think,
Yep.
in top offensive line.
Receiving core.
Arizona, no question.
Arizona.
No question.
Arizona.
Jericho Cotry matches up with Malcolm Floyd. I feel. Wait, no, this is in 07, and Brett Favre's not the court. I'm sorry. Never mind. Release that. Yeah.
Defensively, this is tough because you have two great defenses. I think.
I wouldn't call Arizona great defense.
Yeah,
they're better than most people think, but I mean,
they're really good opportunistic defense.
Yeah, that's key for they get lucky. And Luke Kuechly is a monster on the inside, and I think that pass defense for the Panthers is incredibly underrated.
So we're gonna give it to Carolina then.
Yeah, I would definitely give it to Carolina.
So let's see here. It's 2-2. It's 2-2. Going
yeah.
into the final category, head coach. Bruce Arians or Ron Rivera?
Bruce Arians, because he took Ryan Lindley to the playoffs.
I would take Bruce Arians because I think he's a great head coach.
The Colts watching this are probably eating their hearts out. I mean, I don't know how many subscribers you have, but
I have 6.
All 6.
Are you watching Ryan?
All 6.
Are you watching?
All 6 of the subscribers are Colts fans.
Yeah. Are you watching Ryan Griggs into your Mercer? Yeah, you should have kept.
You should have kept Bruce Arians.
Yeah. Chuck Pagano was really the right thing to do. Yeah.
Let's see here. That's another thing. Like, it's seriously like the Arizona Cardinals won 40-17 again. It is against the Eagles.
Yeah.
And the Eagles are terrible.
But they kind of beat the crap out of the Vikings, who were a playoff team last week.
They beat the fuck out of them.
I mean, the Vikings showed resolve and came back, but
they
wasn't
look.
close.
Here's to make an argument here. Name one great team that Carolina's defeated.
One great team.
Yeah.
Who have they played? No one in the division. I would barely call anyone in the division like a football team.
Seattle, but Seattle was at that point kind of
banged up. Yeah, I mean, I don't. But I mean,
okay.
If you think about it, what about the Patriots? What great team has the Patriots beaten? They beat Pittsburgh without Le'Veon Bell or Marcus Wheaton or Martavis Bryant. We lost to Denver, which was probably our biggest game of the year. Right?
Yep.
I mean, who else?
Okay, let me give you some of
what it is. There's very few good teams in the NFL.
Yep. But
I mean, you have the Seahawks, Cardinals. The reason the Cardinals and the Seahawks play each other is in the same division.
Yep.
And then you have the Panthers and the Patriots. Everyone else is basically playing is way down there.
All right, let me give you some people that Arizona's beaten. Cincinnati.
Playoff team. Yeah, they're a good regular season team.
Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah.
Let's see here. There's some more. Oh, Seattle.
Yeah, but that was
in Seattle.
In Seattle, yeah, that's tough to do.
So I ran off 3 teams that they've beaten, and I think because I think Arizona's a better team than Carolina. Offensively, they can match up with anybody.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well,
I think that
Josh Norman's gonna cover Larry Fitzgerald. Okay, who's gonna cover Michael Floyd? Who's gonna cover John Brown? Who's gonna cover J.J. Nelson? Who's gonna cover Jerome Brown?
Yeah. I don't think anyone on that. I don't think there's any cornerback who can catch John Brown when he gets half a step on you.
Yeah,
he is that fast. He just
unfortunately he drops the ball.
If he catches the ball, he's not the number one target too.
Yeah, no, he's like
when he catches it, he torches you. He torches you.
Yep.
The only thing though that could be their Achilles heel is that Carson Palmer is what is he in the playoffs? Like, sort of like a
0-3.
0-3. When was the last time he was in the playoffs? Like 7 years ago, something like that. No, T.J. Hushman's out of his number one wide receiver, I think.
So yeah, but I think the Arizona Cardinals with this win, they've clinched the first. They clinched the division, the NFC West. Yeah. They go next week. They're going up against the Green Bay Packers.
That should be a fun game.
That will be a fun game, but I will pick Arizona in that game. Well, we'll get to that. I'll get to that on Saturday.
All right.
Do the preview of the games. Now it's time for Monday Night Football, and you didn't.
Wow, you could have told me that like 15 minutes ago. Oh yeah, we're gonna do the Monday Night Football. I'm for you for those of you who don't know me.
He's a sound
Dave.
guy.
And I hate certain people, a.k.a. Carlos Spicy Wiener. But there are some things that I do when it comes to these videos. I'm the one who has the music. Follow our other channel.
He's the music man.
Yeah, follow the original podcast.
We need the subscribers.
Yeah.
All 6 of you should go subscribe.
All 6 of you that are subscribed to me, subscribe to me again.
I have no bearing in this, so I can honestly say do whatever you want. Okay. I'm not pining for your subscription.
Well, no, it's just common courtesy. You should go and follow, just subscribe, just hit that subscribe button, and well, it'd be nice.
Yeah. Right, so
so now we're gonna go into commercial. We'll be back.